Hello, good morning, welcome back to another vlog back in England. A couple of things going on today. We're going to Meadowhall. I have a film, one of 3 I've read online that I might be able to get them developed in one of the photo labs in Meadowhall in an hour, which would be fantastic. If they can't do it in an hour, I think I'm just going to wait until I've finished the other 2 rolls, and then I'll send them all off to Analog Wonderland, which is what I did before. They were really, really good. It's quite expensive to develop film, and film is quite expensive. The whole thing is quite expensive. But if I could do it in an hour, that would be fun, because this particular roll is the one that had 10 shots of, 10 shots of my grandma's, because we found the camera in her house. So I'm really intrigued to see, well, first of all, whether or not there are any interesting shots that she'd taken, because a lot of them were like the garden and the house and stuff like that. But also whether or not the film is still good, because we don't know how old it is. I'd also taken a lot of pictures before we got to Vegas, because we didn't know how many shots were on the camera, and then a few while we were there. So if the film is good, the pictures will be fun to get back. Milo is going to get his screen replaced on his very cracked phone. Look at that, an hour. I honestly can't believe that. I will say I'm slightly concerned. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, because especially when it's special photos, I was nervous of sending them off and getting lost in the post. That was the main reason that I wanted to take them into store somewhere to be developed. But I know that the difference between sending them to like somewhere on the high street and sending them somewhere that like specialises in developing film is that the quality of the prints that you get back, or the quality of the images, because you get them scanned as well, is maybe not quite as good, because the person who's actually a professional developer can go through and kind of tweak them and make them better, whereas people in these photoshops probably just kind of scan them through, as I've read anyway. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, but we'll see how this one goes, because that's really handy, because obviously we're in Meadowhall all the time. And now we're off to Costco. So we're having a Halloween party at the weekend, and we want to get some food and stuff from here. I filmed a Costco shot with me, which will already have gone up by now. Now we're back to Meadowhall. I'm going to collect my pictures, and Milo can get his phone back. My favourite meal comes from Barbarino. Come into Tiger to see what little cute Halloween stuff they've got, and it's loads. How cute are these? It's very late on a Thursday night, and the reason that you know that is this. If I stay up too late and I'm like cleaning or crafting, something kind of like active, why does my hair do this? What is this all about? I don't know. But it does, it kind of gives me away. Anyway, I've been setting some stuff up. It is a Halloween anniversary party, and so there's kind of a cross theme going on. Also, how amazing are these cookies? I ordered these custom cookies from someone on Instagram called Completely Cookied. I've had her make a few different custom ones, and I basically I gave her this logo that I'd made, and then just kind of said, just run with whatever, and gave her a colour scheme. And these are incredible. I've got some kind of some stuff, but I've got another day to kind of like finish off. I've also been cleaning this sofa that came from my grandma's house, which the idea eventually is missing cushions. The idea eventually is that I'm going to have this recovered. I just love it so much, and it's the world's most comfortable sofa, but it is really old and kind of raggedy at this point. So I've fully, like, completely sponged this thing down, totally shampooed the whole thing. I've got cushions hanging out all over the place, and a clean kitchen, not a clean floor, but a clean kitchen with the Gilmore Girls as my soundtrack. But now it's late, so it's bedtime, and I'll see you in the morning. I'm quite pleased with myself over this. The only problem is, can you hear that high-pitched ringing? I'm really hoping that when there's music on, you can't hear that high-pitched ringing. It's going to be super annoying. So basically, I had a piece of chipboard. I think I've shown you this in a different vlog, but I had a piece of chipboard. I drew the design on it, and then I did kind of like a paper mache thing, just so I could like follow it, because then I painted it. It was a strange thought process. Originally, I was going to paint it with UV paint and then do like a black light situation. Then I discovered this, which is like a lit rope. Also flashes, which is no thank you. The reviews on Amazon were hit and miss, so I really wasn't sure whether or not it would be any good, and it took forever. I drilled through the thing and I was threading it through and everything, but yeah, it took a while, but I think it was worth it because it's basically not very great custom neon light for about £8 plus the chipboard, which I already had. I just came outside to do something. I mean, bear in mind, she's trying to get in and I'm outside with her. And she like meowed at me and scared me to death. I haven't seen Belle in a while and she's not usually in the back garden. Just wanted to go in the shed and sort some stuff out. Sofa is in the bar for 2 reasons. Partially because it's still wet and so I wanted to dry it out with the use of this heater. Very, very useful. This is fallen forward a little. Definitely shouldn't be that close. I've come to turn this off now anyway because it's almost dry. But it also looks a little bit too worn and threadbare. And try as I might, cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. You can't see in this light, but like along here, the colour is very different to elsewhere on the sofa. So kind of in 2 minds as to whether or not I'm going to spend a fortune eventually and get this recovered, or I'm going to give it a go myself. We'll see. But there is also a chair here. I could try that first. I was watching upholstery videos online last night. I also rescued this. Very dark, not turning the lights on. I don't know what to tell you. Also rescued this old unit from my grandma's garage, and I've tiled it. We'll talk about that in the morning. Okay, all of this vlog, it's been like, I'll show you this then, and I'll show you this later, and yada yada, and it's never happened. So I'm showing you this now. Oh my goodness, the floor is so sticky. I actually haven't been in here since the party. This is what I got from my grandma's house. I tiled the top. I'm gonna grout it. I just didn't have time for the party. But I tiled the top because I thought it kind of looked good, plus I'll waterproof it and whatever. But it's also given me a really nice space. This is a way better place to make cocktails than on here. It's just a way larger space. But also, this is why I wanted it. How fantastic is this? I remember this from when I was a kid. This used to be a unit in her kitchen. I also have now got loads of storage for glasses that I didn't have before. This is my dad's Halloween mask. Super creepy. Just generally kind of a snapshot of the after of a party. I think we did a pretty good job actually cleaning up after it because there were quite a few people in here and a lot of glasses. The party is over and oh man, it's like nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. She says, I realised that some people party till like 5 o'clock in the morning. For us, we're like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. When did we get so old? I'm going to leave you with some pictures from our photo booth because I love a photo booth. I basically just do a tinsel curtain wall and I put up something where you can put your camera in rather and take pictures, and some lighting, and it's the most fun. It is the most fun. So I'm going to leave you with a few of our photo booth pictures. Cake for breakfast. I mean, I feel like cake for every meal for the next 3 days. I'm not big on cake, but this is the perfect cake. Also trying to deal with some post-Vegas breakouts. I kind of did a lot with them yesterday, seemed to diminish, but there are a couple left. Did I even tell you? What have we talked about this week? You know, I went to Costco. This is where we got the cake. The party was great. That's the leftover karaoke that we were doing. This was our photo booth. Kind of want to leave it up all the time because that was a lot of fun. And this is how far we've got into the process of washing up all of the glasses that we used last night. We're taking Milo to a Halloween party. It's childminders now. What are you dressed as, Miles? Hawk. Hawk? We couldn't find red hairspray. Also, coloured hairspray has come on leaps and bounds. It's Monday. It's Monday and I got up early to have a shower before the school run and do myself a face mask in an effort to turn around this post-holiday skin because it's not enjoyed coming home, honestly. Also, I bought this yesterday when we went to TK Maxx. After dropping Milo off at his childminders Halloween party, we went to see my grandma, who's been moved to a nursing home now. And then we went to a couple of shops to kind of kill a little bit of time while we waited to go and collect Milo because it was just a couple of hours at the party. And I bought this from TK Maxx, which I think is really, really cute. It's gold-plated brass, so I'm hoping that I can get away with wearing it all the time because even when the gold plating comes off, it won't tarnish, right? I think if you wear it all the time, it'll be fine. And this beautiful tree this week, my actual tree will be up. I also don't think I showed you these. These I bought from Walmart. I think they were like $1. They're just like cardboard flimsy things, but I love them so much. I think they'll look super cute with my little houses, which usually are on here, but now we've got this unit, maybe they'll go on there. I've done the drop off. Milo had his funky blue hair again for the school disco today. They get to dress in their costumes all day, and then they have the disco last thing. So fingers crossed his blue hairspray lasts, because that was a major concern for him this morning. And now I'm gonna go to the new Starbucks drive-thru that's just opened nearby. Couldn't work out actually how to get in here, but I think this is it. Starbucks! We have been waiting for this Starbucks to open for 14 million years, I swear to God. It was announced, seriously, about 4 years ago. I don't know what I want now I'm here. Success. I got a caramel macchiato with only 1 pump of syrup. I put a blanket on Manny when I came home, and he has not moved since. He's a cozy dog. He is, like, in the morning, if it's raining, Lee'll put all of his, like, gear on to go for his walk, and he's just like, no, absolutely not. So I've just been editing the vlog and realised I never showed you the photos that I had developed. I've also just finished a new roll of film today, so I'm quite excited to get those sent off. I've got two rolls. I'm definitely going to send them off to Analog Wonderland 100%, because I'm convinced these ones came. I mean, it's difficult to say because it was an old film. This was our attempt at taking pictures in the actual casino. It was an old film, so it's really hard to know whether, just me eating, whether or not the fact that they're a little bit dark is because it's an old film. It was a different camera, but I would have thought the camera I took these pictures with would have been a bit more foolproof, because it was an automatic camera. Like, everything is done for you. You don't need to do anything. Whereas the previous ones, the pictures weren't fantastic. Like, I wasn't very good. It was my first attempt at using the camera, but it was a mechanical camera. I'll show you what camera I was using, because when I talked about this on Instagram, I got a couple of questions. Anyway, this morning, I pulled out the flash for this camera, because I thought, this seems to be the better of the two. And if this is the better of the two, if I just put on the enormous flash, then all it is focus. Because some of these pictures that were the automatic camera are still like, this is blurry and out of focus, which I wasn't expecting. Whereas this is completely manual. At worst, like, it's got a light meter on the front so that it tells you whether or not you can adjust for kind of light, otherwise something's going to be dark or too bright. But the other thing is obviously that I can't take a picture in the nighttime, which I can do if I put on the enormous flash we said tested out this morning. But I think this actually is going to end up taking better pictures than the other one. It's not as compact, and this is as big as the camera itself. But if I'm going to learn, and it's going to be an expensive process, then I think I'd rather just use the camera that actually gives me the best pictures. But that's a long way around to what I was going to say, which was, I think that, and we're going to see this because I've got a roll of film from the other camera and a roll of film from this. This is all black and white that I put in this one. When I send it off to Analog Wonderland, it will be a good test to see whether or not, I think this was Max Spielman, it is. Great that I can get these 1 hour and I get the actual prints and it's like practically around the corner. But I think when I sent them off to Analog Wonderland, I got a better result back. I think they were tweaked. They're basically just like random pictures I took in Vegas. Anything actually good? Oh, that's Lee. Lee and I in the win. Look at these terrible pictures of the Bellagio fountains. It's part of the fun. Some drunk pictures of me and my friend Kaz singing karaoke. Milo before school one day. Oh, that's a cute picture of Lee and Milo. I did post some of these on Instagram. I like these ones if I was in London. That's at Wembley Park. And then the pictures that I know you've been waiting for. The pictures of some random pictures of London from the summertime. That was when we went to the Serpentine. I know we were all waiting for the pictures that were my grandma's pictures. Let me show you what they're almost all. I'm not going to show you the ones that got people in them. But they're almost all pictures of flowers. My grandma was not a florist, but I don't even know what you would call it. They had full-blown professional-sized greenhouses all down the bottom of their garden. And they did sell flowers from their garage. They did wreaths at Christmas and like celebration stuff. It was like a professional setup. So I don't even know what it would be called, but in the area, unbeknownst to me, I remember when I was learning to drive, my driving instructor lived in the same area as my grandma, and we were talking about, you know, where he was from. And I said, oh, my grandma lives around the corner. And it came to be that he knew her as the flower lady. She had multiple different jobs. She always worked. Until quite an old age. She was multiple different things, and towards the end she was a cleaner in a hotel for a lot of years. But she, for a long time alongside those things, also did this flower thing. And I honestly don't really know what the business was, how it worked, but it was substantial. So most of the pictures we found at my grandma's house were flower related, whether it be garden, greenhouse. There's so much documented of that kind of side of her life, which is really interesting. So I'm not surprised at all that most of the pictures that were in those first 10 were just flowers. Well, that is going to be it for this vlog. I am toying with something of a Vlogmas Eve. If you are new around here, Vlogmas Eve originally was basically daily vlogs in November as a prelude to daily vlogs in December for Christmas. Vlogmas. I don't want to do that because I think I'll burn myself out by December and then be like, ugh, I can't be able to actually do Vlogmas. But I want to do something where I'm picking up the camera every day just to kind of get myself into the habit for December time. So that might be a few vlogs a week. It might be a vlog every other day, but I will vlog every single day in November. And we'll just see how that works out, because this year I am all in. Last year we went to New York around Christmas time, and it was an incredible trip, total bucket list thing. Magical to see the tree. However, the whole thing of the COVID restrictions and like, are we going, are we not going? Everything leading up to December was very stressful, and I kind of felt a bit numb to Christmas by the time it came along. So I've been really, really looking forward to this Christmas, and I want to do it, really, really do it. So yes, I'm going to do kind of like a somewhat of a Vlogmas Eve. But we will definitely be doing daily vlogs in December.